What are spin-off games? Well, they're like a new installment into a franchise, but not really. They are usually developed alongside another third-party company. I would say the two most popular and recognizable companies are Telltale Games and Koei Tecmo. Most of the time, these spin-off titles are completely separate from a franchise's main entry and are never canon to the lore. Thankfully, who knows what Link's crossbow training would do to the Zelda timeline if it was canon? I mean, just look at it. I played a good amount of these spin-offs. The GameStop employee even pressured me into pre-ordering Age of Calamity. I'm sure he was given a hefty raise and a pat on the back for that. This game is considered a prequel to Breath of the Wild. Is it canon or required to play to understand Breath of the Wild? Well, no. But I enjoyed it. It was a nice little game to hold me over after Tears of the Kingdom was delayed. Again. Persona 5 Strikers, or Scramble, depending on what country you live in, is considered a sequel. But it's not a must-play to understand the story, but you should play it. It added so much to the franchise, and it doesn't even really feel like a spin-off. It tells a whole new story, adding interesting characters and new mechanics. And overall just expanding on the world of Persona 5. It's a really fun playthrough, and I couldn't put it down until I finished it. Some franchises have an abundance of these spin-offs, Pokemon being one of them, 61 to be exact, all ranging from fighting games to Pictocross? Some of these spin-off games are pretty popular, Super Smash Bros. Being one of the most popular ones, becoming a staple in the gaming world, combining fan-favorite Nintendo characters, as well as adding characters like Banjo-Kazooie and Steve from Minecraft, with it also being made into its own esport, and it's been pretty successful so far, and Melee refuses to die 20 years after its release. But do these spin-off games really have a reason to play them? Well, maybe not all of them. There are definitely an infinite amount of better games to play than Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, but for the most part, they are pretty decent. I thought Minecraft Story Mode was pretty good. It added an entertaining story to Minecraft, where every decision you make impacts what happens in the story in one way or another. It can really range from something minor, or it ends in... It's really cool to see a new take on the game that we've all loved for years, and while it wasn't perfect, it was definitely a game I think was worth playing. The Mario series is again one of those franchises with many spin-offs. Mario Kart, Mario Party, Paper Mario, Dr. Mario, Mario Golf, Mario Rabbids. At this point, he's basically the Mickey Mouse of the gaming world. But with each new spin-off, it's usually a high-quality game featuring our favorite plumber. Honestly, Mario was not really a character I really get tired of seeing with each installment. Crypt of the Necrodancer, a rhythm-based game combined with a dungeon crawler, would receive an amazing spin-off, Cadence of Hyrule, a crossover with the Legend of Zelda series. This game was able to take the dungeon crawler aspect of both franchises and remix it into one solid game. The game would actually get a lot of support, with it receiving a DLC that added more fan-favorite characters and music. Speaking of Zelda spin-offs, have you heard of... let me make sure I get this right. Freshly Picked Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land. It's like a tongue twister. From what I understand, the goal of this game is to find and toss rupees into a pool to get to Rupee Land. It was definitely one of the games of all time. It was never released in the West, only in Japan and Europe, and I can see why. I don't really think this game would sell very well in the West, as I think most people don't even know Tingle exists, but apparently it sold well enough in Japan to warrant 2 more installments in the series. Tingle's Balloon Fight and Ripened Tingle's Balloon Trip of Love. Yeah, these are pretty weird. Then again, Tingle himself is kind of the definition of weird. However, I think spin-offs are a good way to see your favorite game franchise in a new light. It's always nice to see someone else's take on the characters or world. I love myself a good spin-off title. But notice I said good. We all know Pokemon is about catching as many Pokemon as you can, taking on the gym leaders to get gym badges, resetting your game over and over for hours so you can get a slightly discolored Zapdos. But what if, hear me out, we turn this classic franchise, loved by thousands of people, get ready, this is about to be insane, into a TV watching simulator. Wait, what? I wish I was making this up. Pokemon Channel, released in 2003, was a literal TV watching simulator. That's the whole point of this game. You just watch TV on a gaming console. I'm sure if you brought this into a pawn shop, they would pay you to keep it. Wait, but you could do more than just watch TV. You could walk around the house. Moving on to...
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
I'm assuming you have seen this before, and if you haven't, it's basically a really bad CDI game made in 1993. I don't know if this dumpster fire of a game even counts as a spin-off, but as much as I wish it did, it doesn't end there. They decided the first game wasn't enough, so they went ahead and made 2 more. I really wish I could meet the people who thought these games were in any way a good idea. These all have to be in the top 5 worst games of all time. Honestly, that's kind of a big accomplishment. All 3 of your games were so bad they all made it into the top 5. I gotta hand it to them, that's pretty hard to do. but even bad spin-offs are just fun to look back on. But overall, I think spin-offs are a really cool concept for gaming, and while they aren't always perfect, they provide a new perspective on the franchises we love, and they just add another game to the backlog, so that's a nice bonus. What are some of your favorite spin-off games? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you enjoyed, bye.